Learning institutions to invest in modern training equipment, with experts warning that theory-heavy teaching is leaving graduates unprepared for real-world demands, especially in medical fields where errors can be costly. This comes as Mount Kenya University boosts its dental and paramedic training with new equipment aimed at strengthening hands-on learning. Sophia Dida, a dental lab technician, says students risk making irreversible mistakes without proper practical exposure. Her concerns follow MKU's unveiling of new training tools, including phantom heads, oxygen tanks, and an ambulance meant to equip learners.
Some grievous mistake, and these are human beings we are dealing with. So what is needed, what a patient needs, is your service of your hand. If you cannot manipulate using your own hands, but you have it up in your mind, it doesn't help. So practicals is necessary for you to do and go and fit.
It's very important for schools that are offering any course to invest very much in equipment, because it's not just enough to do theory. I've realized that with just theory and just practical, without now being introduced to the very critical equipment, it's not that helping, because you will find that yes, you will understand the theory, but you have not been exposed to the equipment. So
before, we had many challenges facing us as the students. We could not understand the theoretical part of dental technology without the use of the instruments. We want to thank the institution and the management for bringing us the instruments. This will enable us to understand more part of the practical in dental technology and the clinical procedures done outside there.
And still on tertiary education, Kabete National Polytechnic is now positioning Kenyan learners for global opportunities through its International Career Pathway program. The initiative, launched in July 2025, has officially kicked off with several students already pursuing Australian accredited courses. Chief Principal Dr. Patrick Mushemi says the program has already attracted learners pursuing courses in automotive engineering, business, health, and building and construction. He notes that the training is aligned to industry needs and equips students with practical skills that meet global standards.
Signet Institute is in collaboration with Kabete National Polytechnic. We are doing the training here at Kabete, assessing the same with the two bodies, the Kabete National Polytechnic and the Australian body, so that these students are able to qualify with a qualification that is recognized by the Australian government. And in that connection, these students will be able to work in Australia and other 36 countries that certificate will be recognized.
Most of us have little knowledge on brick and block crane, but studying under the Institute of Australia, we are so excited. We are learning new things under their curriculum, and it seems to be amongst the best.
To security matters now, where a section of lawmakers in Laikipia County is pushing for the restoration of security on the borders with neighboring counties, where cases of cattle theft are on the rise. Led by Laikipia East MP Mwangi Kionjuri, the leader stated that the volatility has left residents on the edge. Kionjuri said the matter needs to be addressed once and for all.
Laikipia North lazima tutaweka mipaka yetu na tuheshimike Laikipia North. Na tunapiga kura ya kujiheshimu kama watu ya Laikipia. Ndio tunasema kwa mara ya kwanza tutafanya campaign ya Laikipia County. Na tuseme tuheshimike. Na ndio unasikia Sara akisema wale waizi wanakuja wanatoka nje. Na hana wasiwasi, atatatishwa na watu tunajaribu ukiongea, tutaleta watu wapigia Laikipia. Leta watu walipigia Laikipia, lakini Laikipia iko na wenyeji, ni wengi, kuna wale unaweza kutetea.
Laikipia hii tumekuwa nyuma miaka mingi sana, kwa sababu hatujajua siri ya kuongea kwa sauti moja. Tumekuwa na masauti mingi. Ati Kiunjuri akiongea huko mahali si nataka tunasema achana na hiyo Kikuyu. Sisi tukiongea, wengine wachaneni na hiyo mandorobo. Saa hii tumesema sauti ya Sara ni sauti ya Kiunjuri. Sauti ya Kiunjuri ni sauti ya Jeni Kajiri.
Heart patients across the country are set to receive faster, safer and more affordable treatment following the launch of a new cardiac catheterization laboratory at Avenue Hospital in Nairobi. Health officials note that for years, many Kenyans living with hypertension, stroke and heart failure have faced a late diagnosis, long referral chains and the heavy financial burden of seeking treatment abroad. With cardiovascular diseases continue to rise, nearly 1 in 4 adults now lives with high blood pressure, making timely intervention increasingly urgent. Health experts say the new cath lab will provide advanced cardiac interventions, including minimal invasive diagnostics and real-time imaging, allowing patients with chest pain or suspected heart complications to receive immediate evaluation and treatment within the country.
We continue to have an increase in the prevalence of non-communicable diseases. We have a rise in hypertension, diabetes, and other cardiovascular diseases. And these diseases, when they get complicated, then we now have interventions. And as government, we are committed to formulating policies, guidelines, to ensure that all Kenyans, wherever they are able to get this in an affordable manner.
These are things a few years ago, the only way was to go to India or other places. So now these are available in Kenya at accessible pricing to more Kenyans, and it's supported through SHA. So you, with your SHA, you're able to access these services.
Elsewhere, an internal row has emerged within the Muslim community in Laikipia County over a 26 million shillings raised for the construction of a new Jamia mosque in Njue during a public baraza convened by Laikipia East Deputy County Committee Patrick Muli. The aggrieved members were urged to find an amicable solution to allow the project to proceed. Authorities warned that continued wrangles could force the government to close the mosque until order is restored.
Na mimi nikiwa treasurer, kwa sababu mimi jina yangu haikutolewa huko, niliambiwa niliresign, it's okay, but mpaka 3-4 weeks ago mimi ndo nilikuwa treasurer kwa bank pia.
Wamama ameomba kitu moja, kama hii msikiti hajaweko tarakta, vita tatokea zaidi. Hii msikiti amaga kabisa, msikiti amagike, pesa tuko nayo mamilioni 20 na.
Ndio kesi endelee mbele mpaka tupate watu 2, 3, 4 waandike ripoti yao ya kwamba walikuwa wametajwa na wako pale ndani. Hakuna mtu tunataka awe victimized ati ya kwamba mtu fulani anatakana ama anasumbuliwa na hakufanya kitu chochote. We want full support from you people, na najua kesi endelea vizuri tukiongozwa na Inspector Abdi pale. Hatutaki kusikia vita hapa kwa hii msikiti. Na kama hiko na kuambia tutafunga hii msikiti kama serikali.
In other news, trouble is brewing at the Mutara ADC farm in Laikipia County after the management moved to evict herders grazing on the 63,000-acre farm despite a court order barring the move. The herders, who have been grazing their cattle on the farm under an earlier agreement with the management, are alleging foul play by a senior government official who is behind the planned eviction. According to the herders, who are decrying mistreatment, the government has been aware of their presence at the farm and is calling for urgent intervention in the matter.
hii shamba kuna mabwenyenye wanataka kuchukua. Na sisi tukasema ya kwamba hata sisi tunahitaji shamba. Tukaandikiwa ya kwamba mkae ADC mpaka tarehe 19 mwezi ya Januari ili hii maneno iamuliwe. Sasa kabla hii maneno basi kuamuliwa, jana ndio kaanza hiyo maneno ya kuchoma sisi.
Walichoma hata watoto ya mbuzi kwa boma, walichoma kila kitu ya watoto, kila kitu ilikuwa imeshemeka. Wameshika ng'ombe yetu bado iko kwa kirasha saa hii. Na sisi tuko na miaka mingi sana tukiishi huko. Tulijaribu leo kwenda kufungua hiyo ng'ombe, tukaambiwa ile kitu mtafanya muende hiyo kotini ikafungulie hiyo ng'ombe.
Akakuja akaanza kutushomea vitu na akasema hiyo court order ni karatasi. So tunataka kujua kwani huyu anatumia sheria gani ili aweze kusema hiyo court order ni karatasi.
Moving on, women in Mada Shivanga ward in Malava constituency, Kakamega County, have been urged to take advantage of economic empowerment projects offered by both the national and county governments. Speaking at Matete Primary School during a distribution of self-help funds raised in the area in November, Mada Shivanga ward representative David Kivishi encouraged women, including widows, to register in groups to benefit from government-funded business support initiatives. Beneficiaries of the funds were advised to invest in small-scale businesses to improve their livelihoods and achieve financial independence.
Tujiweke kwa hiyo vikundi. Kuna widows CBO. Kuna wale niliwapatia certificate, nafikiri wako hapa. Na wale ambao hawana certificate, mwende mujiunge pamoja. Mimi kama Kivishi nita make sure mmepata certificate. Mlajo langu. So that tujiweke pamoja ili tusukume mpate hii pesa ya nini? Grant.
Very well, at about 17 minutes past the top of the hour, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Disemba imefika na Ingo FM inawasha burdan kwa nguvu tukisherekea miaka 13 ya kuwepo. Bungoma, mpo tayari? Tarehe 5 na 7 Disemba tunawaletea kifurushi maalum cha kusherekea miaka 13, miaka za muziki bora, hadithi zenye uzito na kumbukumbu tamu tulizounda pamoja na wasikilizaji wetu. Siku ya tarehe 5 Disemba tutaanza sherehe kwa upandaji miti katika shule ya St. Teresa Special huko Webuye. Kisha baadaye tutatembelea watoto katika shule hiyo ya St. Teresa kuwapatia zawadi pamoja na kukata keki ya anniversary. Jioni kutakuwa na burdan kubwa katika Olukulu Resort, yani Ingo Night kule Matulo Webuye. Kutakuwa na upete wa Musungu, Bungoma Band na wasanii mahiri kutoka Uluyani pamoja na watangazaji wako wa Ingo FM kwa burdan tosha na vibes kali. Tarehe 7 Disemba tutaendeleza shukrani zetu kupitia ibada ya kanisani katika Misiku PAG Church. Mwambie rafiki na endelea kusikiliza kwa sababu Disemba hii Ingo FM ni kituo chako cha sherehe na furaha. Ingo FM, miaka 13 ya burdan halisi.
Long shot.
Hebu toka. Uko sawa?
Sasa at least lakini na nyinyi mkwange mnaweka pia tissue huko.
Ziko zimejaa, labda mmemaliza huko.
Hakuna. Wewe nilikuandikia message.
Hapana.
Very good. Kwa nini unaandikia shemeji matusi kwa simu yake alafu unasema ni mimi nilimwandikia? Please calm down.
I don't know you now.
I know you and I want to give you your secrets.
Mama, let me tell you, do not even
What
know
secrets?
Tayangu alinipatia tatu skuli nama nikatululu.
Kuna.
Nimekuja kukusaidia. Na nataka kuambia kuwa mayeye anaoa.
Mimi na jamii yangu tumefanya kazi kwa bidii, ndio maana tunaendelea.
Baada ya haya yote uliyotendewa na Arusha, ni haki kwako kumsaidia pia.
Kiza dada, mwanzo pata kumjua huyo kijana, ikiwa kweli wampenda au la.
Kisha
Kiza mjomba, mimi nina shughuli nyingi sana ambazo nataka kufanya. Kwa hiyo tafadhali, sina muda.
Ukirudia tena tutakosana. Singita ndiye mtusi. Ndipo sakawa imeniwa bila kuona haya.
Mbona hutaki kuwa mke wangu mayeye?
Welcome back to KBC Lunchtime News. Moving on, Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital Chief Executive Officer Dr. Philip Kirwa says tax exemption on health products and donor-funded project has saved the facility billions of shillings, which the hospital management has channeled towards supporting free medication and construction of additional health facilities. Dr. Kirwa says the hospital, in partnership with donors, has built major facilities including referral headquarters and academic model providing access to health care, AMPATH, the Riley Mother-Baby Hospital and the Shoe for Africa Children's Hospital. He revealed the facility has also benefited from the supply of drugs such as insulin worth 2.4 billion shillings for hundreds of patients seeking medication at the hospital.
And we have a building which is 4-story building, which is started in 2024, and it's earmarked to completion in 2026. And we also have a burn center that is also focusing for the pediatrics. And we have realized that this donation, the government has to make its contribution, and the contribution for the government is to waive the taxes.
Tax exemption, especially VAT exemption, is a process where we really are benefited as a hospital. To start us off, most of the infrastructure that have been built in the last 10-15 years in MTRH have been built through donor support with the arrangement that we have VAT exemption. So the headquarters of MTRH, the building where we house AMPATH, Riley Mother-Baby Hospital, Shoe for Africa Children's Hospital, all of them have been tax exempt, VAT exemption, saving that 15%.
And residents of Ilmunkush village in Kajiado East Sub-County, Kajiado County, are accusing the Kenya Power and Lighting Company of giving a blind eye to a matter they say is of great concern. They revealed they have brought to the attention of KPLC about the dangerous hanging power lines for a month now, but the relevant body has failed to listen to their cries. The locals say the damaged pole has plunged several areas in darkness and is now a safety hazard. The irony, according to them, is that despite electricity passing through these areas, several villages have remained without electricity for more than 10 years. They are now calling on the Kenya Power to act swiftly and restore power to the area before the situation deteriorates further.
Pia na mifugo pia haijui kama kuna stima. Kwa hivyo tunaomba kwa mheshimiwa Maimai, maana tunajua stima ni ya national government, tunaomba hakikishe kwamba hii stima imekonektiwa, wameweka post nzuri na ifike paka Sarai.
Tumeenda kwa maofisi zote hatupati majibu, so tunaomba mbunge wetu
MCA wetu wa area na governor wote wajumuike pamoja.
Na hiyo stima inapita katikati ya mashamba zetu na hakuna boma hata moja ambayo iko na hiyo stima. Sasa ukijaribu kuimagine stima ambayo imewekwa miaka 12 iliyopita na haijaiwakishwa, hatuelewi ni kwa nini.
Now, on cinemas and theatre, we focus on the series Whispers of Hope that follows 8-year-old Amina as she rebuilds her life after the tragic loss of her parents. Forced into the harsh care of a cruel step-family, Amina's journey is one of resilience, friendship, and the quiet wisdom of village elders who help her rediscover her strength. Take a look.
Baby pass. Baby,
Amina, so you are an orphan.
The series Whispers of Hope follows Amina's world as it collapses after her parents die in a road accident.
Stop sleeping in my house. Amina, there was 2 in the morning. Wake up.
Orphaned and placed under the care of a cruel stepfather and wicked stepmother, Amina's life becomes a daily battle for survival.
I'm tired.
However, her unwavering spirit forms the heart of the story as she forges friendships with village children and learns from the wisdom of elders who guide her towards reclaiming her identity.
Some of the themes we are trying to talk about and we are trying to teach the world and the globe is about love, unity in the society, and is about fighting to help the orphans.
According to Stephen Ogola, the film producer, the series Whispers of Hope was inspired by his own life journey. Ogola was orphaned at a young age and chose to channel those memories into storytelling, but decided to make the main character, a young girl, to broaden the emotional lens and highlight the unique challenges faced by girls in vulnerable situations.
It's my story, but I'm a man. But I came with the idea doing a story for a lady. So for a lady, it picks very fast than men, because men tumewachwa nje kidogo than women. So women wamewekwa ile special.
You are right. Do you know farming can give us income?
Ogola, who has also produced several feature films, admits he personally prefers film production over series work. He notes that producing a series comes with unique challenges.
So unapata kwamba leo your farm shoots scene 1, 2, 3. Even up to 5. Then mutajam, muende kushoot scene 20, 21, 22, 25. Because hao watu wenye walikuwa wafaa wa play from scene 1 to scene 5, one of them hayuko. So kudeal na series ni hectic because you deal with so many characters.
And I hope you know how to work. Because we don't.
Jacqueline Mashara for Cinemas and Theatre.
Time to make sense of business. The government has sold a 15% stake in Safaricom publicly listed company to Vodacom in a deal worth 240.5 billion shillings as part of a plan to unlock private investment without raising taxes or national debt. After the transaction, the government will retain a 20% stake in Safaricom. National Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi says the deal supports the government's agenda to attract investment in strategic assets and critical infrastructure.
Our intention, of course, is to make sure that we can carry on with this public-private partnership, and we see government as a very important strategic shareholder going forward, and that we can continue to build the success and digitization of the economy. And that's a big drive for us, is connecting more and more people.
The government of Kenya will continue to retain a significant and strategic interest in Safaricom, and it remains an important partner in our country, in our journey. Its decision to divest a portion of its shares should be understood within the broader context of responsible fiscal consolidation. This is a prudent way for government to mobilize non-tax revenue while still maintaining an active, meaningful stake in a company that continues to be a key national asset.
So our intent in taking this step is to strengthen Safaricom's ability to invest in the next wave of digital infrastructure and services, from 5G and fiber to fintech and regional expansion. That ability to invest will benefit Kenyan consumers, businesses, and the economy in general. So today's transaction is governed by well-established safeguards, regulatory institutions including Parliament or National Assembly to be specific, the Capital Markets Authority, the Communications Authority of Kenya, the Central Bank of Kenya, and the Competition Authority, among other regulators which will have oversight roles.
Now, Kenya and the International Monetary Fund, IMF, are working on a raft of proposals aimed at strengthening fiscal sustainability, boosting resilience, and driving inclusive growth. President William Ruto has told the fund that the government is implementing a clear fiscal consolidation mechanism to reduce budget deficits and boost revenue generation. President Ruto spoke in Washington during a meeting with IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva.
President Ruto has said that the two parties have agreed to forge a forward-looking partnership focusing on building a shared commitment to transparent and sturdy economic governance. Kenya is banking on a new funding plan with the International Monetary Fund to unlock billions in economic support following the expiry of a 130 billion shilling program funded by the IMF. Earlier on, the head of state held talks with the International Finance Corporation's Managing Director Makhtar Diop, where he welcomed the IFC's confidence in the proposed infrastructure fund and its interest in investing. Kenya looks forward to hosting an IFC delegation early next year to advance discussions on energy and infrastructure investments, especially the modernization of the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport under the public-private partnership model. President William Ruto is on an official visit to the United States, where he is expected to meet with various business and political leaders, and where Kenya will sign various commercial and business agreements with the United States government.
Ownership in Kenya remains skewed and highly unproductive, with 98% of Kenyans owning less than 2 hectares, whereas 0.1% of Kenyans possess in excess of 200 acres. This is creating serious conflict in many communities, threatening peace and socio-economic development. To address this, the underlying land injustice in Kenya, the Kenya Human Rights Commission is calling for a review of land ownership regulations as well as land taxation rates in the country, as this would generate more revenue for the government.
Study by the Kenya Human Rights Commission reveals that 98% of all farm holdings in the country, mostly small and averaging just 1.2 hectares, occupy only 46% of farmed land, while 0.1% of large-scale landholders occupy 39%. The Human Rights Watchdog says this inequality in land ownership continues to deny millions of Kenyans access to livelihood as it limits agricultural productivity, thereby fueling food insecurity.
The land governance and land management in this country, which is very historical, continues to perpetuate a lot of injustices and inequalities. So if we were to look at the root cause of actually Kenya's poverty levels, it goes back to land.
According to the Commission, the scenario also infringes on the socio-economic rights of Kenya's majority, as most of the land parcels owned by the Kenyan elite are either hoarded for speculation or minimally used for agricultural production.
The report even goes further to showcase the impact that this injustice has. Majority of Kenyans are not able to borrow loans, especially maybe to do businesses, because land is used as security in many of our institutions.
The Commission is therefore calling on the Kenya Revenue Authority to formulate a robust land taxation system to generate more revenue for the government. County governments are equally challenged to update their land evaluation methodologies for land rates in order to generate more revenue for enhanced service delivery.
So it's something that you're calling out on the government to ensure that we hold accountable, especially these multinationals, and see how best that they give value for money in regard to taxation.
The Kenya Human Rights Commission is at the same time calling on the government to enhance protection of Kenya's vulnerable populations living on community lands, which it says are susceptible to exploitation due to bureaucratic registration process. For Channel 1, I am Wycliffe Okech.
Integrated Telecom's firm Airtel is in the final stages of rolling out an overdraft facility targeting its customers in Kenya. The facility will help Airtel Money customers make payments even when their balance is negative. The company plans to launch the product in early 2026. Airtel Money Managing Director Ann Kinodia says the introduction of the facility is designed to empower customers to complete transactions with ease.
Fintechs such as mobile money have been key in deepening financial inclusion. There are currently about 47.7 million mobile money subscriptions in Kenya, representing a penetration rate of 91%, according to the latest data from the Communications Authority of Kenya. The mobile phone overdraft market is highly dominated by Safaricom's Fuliza, which is backed by the NCBA Bank. The mobile overdraft service lent more than 600 million shillings in the last 9 months to September 2025. Airtel Money is planning to cash in on the growing appetite for mobile money overdraft service, where close to 8 million Kenyans have subscribed to this service.
A lot of customers want to complete a transaction but are not able to because they have insufficient funds in their wallet. So we are looking not only on expanding the loan platform by engaging with additional loan providers, but also on the overdraft side, where customers now will be able to complete a transaction if they do not have enough funds in their wallet.
Airtel Money is banking on the affordability of services, ecosystem expansion in partnership with providers of lending, savings and merchant solution services to favorably position itself in the Kenyan market.
The beneficiary is always the customer, because at prices on mobile money today in this market are very high. And those prices need to come down, right? And create more affordability, because we are playing a financial inclusion, offering to Kenyans.
Airtel Money Managing Director Ann Kinuthi Otieno says the telco is also planning to leverage its operations across the globe for a bigger pie of the diaspora remittance business.
Across the globe, we have partnered with World Remit, we've partnered with Remitly, and many other service providers to where customers can then send and receive money from. So the IMT business, if I look at the remittances in Kenya, it's a space that we are playing in. It's a space that in the recent days you're going to see us again rolling out more partnerships, because it's a space that we want to play in.
The Micro and Small Enterprises Authority MSEA has rolled out the Cohort 1 Business Development Services BDS classroom training under Component 2 of the Kenya Jobs and Economic Transformation KJET project, which focuses on enhancing MSME cluster competitiveness. The training, which officially began on 10th of November 2025 across 10 counties, will be implemented progressively in all 47 counties over the coming 5 weeks, reaching the 94 cluster. Selected under Cohort 1, Component 2 of the KJET project aims to strengthen the productivity and growth of micro, small and medium enterprises MSME clusters operating within the 10 priority value chains identified under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Speaking during the commencement of the training in Isiolo County, the Director General Micro and Small Enterprises Authority, Henry Ridha, noted that the project's goal is not just to train MSMEs, but to transform them into engines of innovation, job creation, and inclusive economic growth under the Better Agenda. Authorities in Meru County are raising the alarm over a growing surge in teenage pregnancies, largely driven by rising poverty in the Miraa growing areas of Tigania and Igembe. Speaking during the release of 2 research reports, Deputy County Commissioner James Mbote said the numbers are worrying, with 4,360 girls aged between 10 and 19 years reported pregnant between January and May of 2025. Leaders are urging all stakeholders to act urgently to protect vulnerable girls, warning that the situation could escalate even further during the festive season.
Naomba tusaidiane, tusaidie watoto wetu. Maana out of this kuna future ya watoto 4,000 imekuwa affected. Kesho ya watoto 4,360 tayari imekuwa affected. That is one of the dangers.
Time for the sport. Mikel Merino and Bukayo Saka scored as Arsenal beat Brentford 2-0 to restore their 5-point lead at the summit of the English Premier League table. Manager Mikel Arteta made 3 changes to the side that drew with Chelsea last Sunday, with Ben White, Noni Madueke and captain Martin Odegaard coming in. And it was White and Madueke who combined in the build-up on 11. Liverpool played to a 1-0 draw against Further afield, Real Madrid moved a point behind Barcelona in the La Liga table after beating Athletic Club 3-0 last night, ending their 3 games winless run this season. Kylian Mbappe and Eduardo Camavinga put Real Madrid in control by half-time before Mbappe scored his 16th league goal of the season to kill the contest in the 59th minute. Very well, for the news we are done, but don't forget to check out this news plus much more on our social media spaces, including our YouTube channel. Well, I leave you with your favorite segment, that is Military Tales, and for today we listen to the story of Richard Kipkorir Arap Tinga, who I did an interview with him a couple of months ago, and unfortunately he passed on later on after we did the interview, but he did leave us with these memories. So I leave you with the Military Tales, Richard Kipkorir Arap Tinga. We drive about 20 kilometers from Eldoret City to Kipsamo village in Kapseret constituency. Here we are welcomed by one former Kenya Army officer, Warrant Officer 2 retired Richard Kipkorir Tinga, who served for over 3 decades.
Kwa majina mimi naitwa Richard Kipkorir Kiruyo Tinga. Nilisaliwa Nandi district, pande wa Aldai huko Kapsabet huko.
As a young boy, Tinga joined Kapso Primary School and Samoei Secondary School before joining the army in 1978.
Niliajiriwa jeshi tarehe 1 mwezi wa 3 1978, ambaye niliandikiwa Kapsabet Nandi district, na nika train Langata Barracks which is 7 care, nikamaliza training, nikapostiwa nikaenda Nanyuki Barracks ambaye ni 10 engineers, ambaye sasa tunaweza sema tulikurutiwa ama tuliandikwa na hayati Mzee Jomo Kenyatta.
In his first assignment, he was a driver in the 10th Engineers Battalion in Nanyuki, where he also got his first promotion.
Mimi nilienda pale nikaanza kwanza kama driver, ordinary driver. In fact, nilikuwa naendesha CEO yangu ambaye ni retired Major General Warutere. 86 nilikuja Thika na hiyo rank hiyo ya kopro. 89 nikapewa rank of sergeant na kupelekwa mpaka Isiolo School of Combat Engineers. Nikakaa huko mwaka moja nikiwa nasimamia magari. After kukaa mwaka moja nikawa reposted back, nikarutishwa back to 10 engineers Nanyuki. My mother unit ambaye nilianzia na maisha yangu. Nikarutishwa hapo kutoka 89 nikaja tu nikasimamia magari. Nimewacha sasa kuendesha, sasa nikawa in charge ya transport. Mimi nikafaa rank of senior sergeant, nikiwa hiyo Nanyuki hiyo, nikafaa rank of warrant officer 2, ambaye hiyo rank nilikaa naye nikiwa MTO for 15 years.
Having been employed in the 70s and served under 4 presidents, he points out the changes, especially on the welfare of soldiers over the years.
Moi wakati aliingia, pesa ikaongezwa, ikasonga juu. Wakati Kibaki aliingia, pesa ikaongezwa, ikasonga juu. Wakati Jusi Uhuru ameingia, pesa imeongezwa. Wakati huo mambo ya panga haikukua. Yes, tulikuwa tuna save pesa kwa posta.
34 years in the forces, he points out match and shoot exercises as the most intense that tried every soldier to the core during his illustrious career.
Match and shoot, tulitrain Isiolo, but nilienda match and shoot ambaye nilienda wakati nilirute kambi, hata nilikuwa nimechange. Nilikuwa nimekuwa nyeusi, mambo ya kuwa brown iliisha. Yani nikifika tunatembea usiku na mchana, ambaye tukiletewa hata chakula ati ni lunch, mimi natafuta mahali iko kifuli na usingizi. Chakula haingii. Mnapumzika mchana, lakini ikifika saa 12 jioni, mwendo wenu ni ya usiku mpaka kesho asubuhi. Hakuna kufunga macho na mnaishi. Mnaweza toka, tuseme kutoka Eldoreti mwende mpaka Nakuru ama over Nakuru, bio Nakuru, bila kufunga macho na mnai, bila kupumzika. Uko na misiko yako umepepa, uko na bunduki umepepa, uko na risasi yako umepepa, na hivi vitu yote ni mzito. So unaenda mpaka mguu umefaa kiato namna umefaa, lakini mguu chini inachupuka.
In 2005, Tinga was among soldiers in the United Nations Peace Mission in Eritrea and reminds Kenyans on the essence of peace.
kama inawezekana tuishi na amani namna tunaishi. Pale watu wako na shida, hawana amani, wako na shida, kila kitu ni shida, kupata chakula ni tabu. Pale hakuna mambo ya kusema ati iko sheria, watu wanauana. Kuua mtu sio problem, huko kuua mtu sio shida. Tukiwa wana Kenya tunakaa vizuri, ambaye mimi hata kama nimekuja nyumbani ningewaomba ya kwamba wajue nchi ambaye iko na msosano ama mafarakano hakuna maendeleo yoyote.
The former Army Motor Transport Officer MTO advises young serving soldiers to remain true to country and duty.
Mimi ningetaka discipline ya military ipaki namna ilikuwa, namna tulikuta na namna tuliwacha. Ningependa iendelee hivyo ndio tuwe na china mzuri ya jeshi ni discipline.
A family man and father of 4 acknowledges his family support for over the 3 decades he served in the army.
As much as nilikuwa natuma pesa, but nilipata pipi mzuri ambaye alijua ya kwamba mzee ako kazi na mzee atarudi nyumbani. Kazi nyingi ni yeye amefanya. Mimi tu nimekuja kumsupport. Na kwa familia kwangu Mungu amenichalia na watoto 4. Niko na wasichana 2 na vijana 2. Jana yangu hakuna mtu yote ametaka military. Asante. Thank you very much. Thank you. Nimeshukuru.
Tinga, who was ailing, passed on a few months after this interview. And even though he's gone, every mile he drove was a testament of his unwavering commitment, and the impact of his dedication will echo on every road we travel. Rest in peace, Tinga. For Military Tales, I'm Njue.
When we draw the line between pepo na mtu ambaye anahitaji psychiatric help, people are going through stuff.
That time I've lost my mother, my biological mother is not there. The mother who took care of me is not there. This is now another friend of mine, and I'm like, what is this life for? And for me getting into counseling, I think the first thing for me, training was, it first helped me. If you feel like you want to gym, to run, to talk to someone, do that. That you feel is going to help you to alleviate that pain.
Mzigo gani? Mzigo gani mgongo? Kwani uone kama kuna mzigo umeniongezea kwa hapa nyumbani wewe?
Mimi nyumba hii sijaona kitu chochote kinabadilika.
Kweli sisaidi na chochote nyumba hii mgongo. Ni hasara tu kila leo. Nikiamka hasara, nikilala hasara. Kaa hapa paka nguo zimeniishia. Angalia na nguo zako.
Kama una madaraka makubwa, si nilikuja kwako nitafutie kazi.
Nitafutie kazi? Yaani nimekuja kukaa hapa kupata kazi? Kwanza umekuja unaniambia utakaa miezi 2-3 utalala wapi? Mimi sikatai ukae. Sawa? Kulala utalala wapi? Wameshajua basi achoka pata kazi, achoka anajiweza. Mtaitana wote hapa, maana yake ni hoteli hapa.
Mtakwenda wapi?
Katafuta mahali pa kulala pale pengine.
A warm welcome to your weekly health show, Health and Lifestyle, where we talk all matters health. Today we're coming to you from the Kenya Medical Research Institute, KEMRI, in Kilifi County, where scientists are conducting a study on neosepsis. Coming up in the program.
So they are highly susceptible. So when they come out, they are prone to a lot of things. And because their hospital stay will be longer, that also predisposes them to infection.
Nurses on the front line, protecting newborns against a deadly infection.
What happens when these bacteria are existing within the environment and they're exposed to things like antibiotics which are meant to kill them? So their genetic material starts evolving to try and evade being killed by the antibiotic.
The researchers racing against time to find new drugs to reduce newborn deaths. And prevention is better than cure. Simple steps parents can take to protect babies and how early action and good hygiene can help stop deadly infections in newborns. All that coming up in the Good Practice segment. And to our first segment. At the front line of treating babies with sepsis are nurses. Floyce Ombeso is a nurse at the Kilifi Level 5 hospital. She explains what it takes to manage babies with sepsis. Every morning, Nurse Floyce Ombeso steps into the newborn unit at Kilifi Referral Hospital to look after a special group of patients. Newborns delivered prematurely.
Because they are not well developed, they've not gotten their maternal protection antibodies that are normally given to the baby from the mother towards the end of the delivery or towards the end of the pregnancy. So they are highly susceptible. So when they come out, they are prone to a lot of things. And because their hospital stay will be longer, that also predisposes them to infection.
Oftentimes, because of their immature development, their immune systems can't handle severe infections such as sepsis. Sepsis is a deadly bacterial infection in the blood that can lead to aggressive inflammation of vital organs in these little ones. Sepsis is often difficult to diagnose. Its symptoms include fever, fast or slow heart rate, reduced sucking or difficulty feeding, and at times jaundice